All right, so now we're just going to go over in this section, teaching you how to play this little melody kind of short tune here, note by note. Okay, we talked about last time the chord progression and using the particular notes, root, third, and fifth, and sometimes some of those other ones, and some passing notes in order to kind of fill out your melody, create your melody, and fill it out. Okay, so I want to go through this step by step, and there's also an MP3. If you just go to my site under the blog there, I'll post a little download link so you can download the MP3 and you can practice on this track. Pretty cool little thing. I'm happy with how it turned out, if I do say so myself. Got some cool tones, and I really like the sound of the Strat here with a little bit of fuzz I got going on too. Because it kind of gets sort of a little fuzzy ring. That was maybe a bit much. Back off from the volume a little bit, it cleans up. Fuzzes for a second, which kind of helps it cut through that mix, and then it kind of backs off again to being clean. That's the cool thing about fuzz instead of like a more overdriven amplifier. So it's got sort of a different quality to it. Okay, it kind of gets that growly, grumbly kind of fuzz and then cleans up nicely and lets that clean reverb echo kind of come across. So another one of the cool tools for getting that surf sound. All right. So let's just go over this note by note. The chord progression, that's sort of the main part of the melody here, that E major for 2 bars, then to D major, then to A minor, and then back to E major. Okay, I'm always holding the bar here too as I play. That's something you kind of get used to when you're doing these sort of surf things. You just sort of let it hang there on those fingers, and then you can grab it and get some vibrato on the notes as you go. Okay, so starting off over E, here would be a D chord. If you just move up from D to E flat to E, then you have this inversion of an E major chord right here, okay? And knowing your inversions is, of course, really important for being able to find your way around the guitar neck. And these chord inversions actually help you find melodies, because chords and scales are completely closely related, and then the notes are contained in there are really the typical first choice for melodic notes. All right, so okay, those are a lot of starting places for melodies are in those chord inversions. So if you need to learn more about that, definitely check out the Chord and Harmony Guide DVDs on the site. All right, so starting off here with this one. Okay, I do have the fuzz off again for now. I didn't want that kind of cutting over my voice the whole time here. All right, so we've got this major sixth that happens when you play the third, and down below it the fifth of the chord. All right, and then we're just going to go down the scale to aim to land on a note for that D chord, and that works out really nicely. All right, and that's, to me, that just really speaks of surf, that sound of, all right, those descending chords like we talked about before, and sketching that along in the melody really helps. All right, and then we got a little A minor kind of lick to go on top of the A minor chord. All right, and that kind of turns it around and brings us back to the E major too. And this lick goes like this. You're gonna play the D note that you landed on here, and quickly slide it up to an E and let that open E string ring over top of it. Okay, so you get, okay, and we're just going down the notes E, D, C, B, and A. And the cool thing is here, this A note lets us move right down into the G sharp, which again starts our melody in a lower octave, okay? So this melody is just the melody up here, okay, and then we repeat it down an octave. Okay, it's the same thing down an octave. So we get a little bit more mileage out of that instead of just repeating that initial melody over and over again. So the cool way to get a stretch of your melody. Typical thing for melodies too in a surf tune, if you've got that kind of structure, is to just move it up a fourth, okay? Like a good example is Pipeline. That would be one where the melody moves then verbatim up a fourth, okay? I won't do the whole thing, but let me just do the basic melody here. Okay, Okay, that's how the rhythm goes. Again, the sampling pedal's great for practicing stuff. All right, and the basic melody of that is. Okay, and then that would move up to. Okay, up to an A, and then you move your melody up too. Okay, so a little mistake there. Couldn't figure out the slide or the hammer. So anyway, that just goes to show you can get a lot of mileage out of your melodies by either moving them up a fourth, exactly, that's sort of the blues thing, or if you're just sticking over maybe a more repeating progression like this, try it out in another octave, okay? All right, so back to where we were here, okay? Okay, we land here. All right, and then over that A, that time, just grabbed an A note and just let it hang. Leave a little space in there, and manipulating that with the vibrato gives you a little bit of cool sound air around it with all that amp reverb, and there's quite a bit of reverb on the amp right now, okay, using that Fender Deluxe reissue. Cool amp. Okay, so that brings us through the main melody of it, and that happens twice, okay? The second time around I did a little bit of a variation. Okay. Okay, and there I was just kind of going up to that F sharp over top of the D chord, so as it goes up to the third. So that's kind of a cool way, instead of just going to get that third in there, moving up that way, okay? So a little bit of a guitar trick lick there. All right, and with the wang bar, pushing it down as you slide up gives a cool texture to it, very kind of liquid surf kind of sound. Okay, and then we're going to go down, going to take that A and dive that down, and then we're moving to the next section. And the next section starts off on an E minor chord. Okay, that twice, and then we're going in C, B, both major, C major, B major, and then again. Okay, and it's cool to get that in the bridge, get that really strong 5-1 resolution in there, okay? And this is, you know, if you want to go a little bit more modern with this kind of stuff, you want to maybe avoid doing those exact 5-1 resolutions. You know, I wanted to really kind of compose something here that sort of has all those idiomatic things in there so that I can make an example out of them. But again, playing with those expectations, if you think your listeners are going to expect to hear definitely that, and that's too cliche, all right, then you might want to avoid that and get back to it a different way, you know. Okay, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of ways of doing it, okay? So you can play with your chord progressions to mess around with it. Now, the reason I like these is because this gives you that typical surf sound, that leading tone thing, and we're going down to do the tremolo picking here, okay? Okay, and getting this particular leading tone in here is, you need to get that B major in there. Okay, because the B major has that leading tone. It's got that D sharp in it. Okay, and that leads us back up to the E. Okay, it's pretty hard to make that jump and get back into the melody when you're coming down. I think I messed it up on the last performance there. Okay, takes a little practice for everybody. Okay, so the notes that we're going through here over this progression, we're going to start with E, over E minor. Okay, so we're just kind of sticking around on the E and the G here, all right? Okay, and headed down to the C again. Okay, that's all kind of part of an E minor pentatonic there. All right, and coming down this time. All right, really surf guitar cliche kind of stuff, but for this kind of thing, it just gives you that pull that you want to hear. All right, sometimes playing those cliches is a cool thing to do. All right, so that pretty much takes us around, and we come to the end. Okay, I think I did that the last time around. Okay, I needed to get to the E. The B note is in the E, so you can land on that. Okay, that works out pretty well. Instead of... Okay, same thing there as the original one in this case. Okay, as long as you kind of catch the curve and come back around to it, that works. And then to the A, and now we're going to end on E. And the cool thing here is I've got this whammy bar set up so that when I pull it up, it gives me a half step lift. So if I go... Okay, I'm playing the open G string and pulling it up, and that gives me landing on that G sharp for the final note of the song, okay? And that works really well. And then dive it down, all right? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the piece. Check out the track. Pardon my few little mistakes in here while I was playing and showing you some stuff, but I hope it's informative. I hope you enjoy it. And if you come up with something cool, I'd love to see you post a video response, you know, some kind of a surf melody or something that you're working on, or get in touch with me through the site. And if you're looking to figure out a bridge or something, I can throw you some ideas. I also do lessons over Skype, so if you want to book one of those, just contact me through the site. Thanks again, and see you next month.